I have been asked this question over and over again. Do Russians prep? You bet. There are so many preppers in Russia, especially among older generation. I recently went to a remote village in southern Russia where preppers and farmers live exclusively. Today, I'd like to take you and show the results of an expert prepper, the best prepper in the world. And I know that prepper very well. That's my mom. Let's go and see what she has. You see, my mom was forced to become prepper at the very early age. She was born in a village at an extremely poor peasant family. All incredible riches that her grandparents had were taken away by the communists, and the family was thrown into a peasant village, basically left to die. The fact that they survived is a miracle. All the family members, my grandma, my grandpa, my mom, and her 5 siblings had to learn how to prep, not to starve to death. So my mom was prepping all her life, and later she grew up and moved to a city. She got higher education, she became a professional, a really good and thought-for accountant, and she didn't need to prep anymore, but prepping became her hobby, and up to this age, and she's over 70 now, she's prepping. So let's take a look and see how her basement of her house looks like. My name is Konstantin, and welcome to Letters to King. We're living in today's Russia explained by the insider you can trust. And if you're a returning viewer, then thank you so much. You're awesome and you rock. Let's look at the expert prepper stash. This is a storage room, and there's a secret. Pretty steep. And what do we have here? Glass jars. Don't forget that this is May, and in Russia, in Rostov, in this place, the harvest of fruits and vegetables starts a little later, at the end of May, and ends in October. So the prepping season for making preserves and, pickling everything is from May, late May, through October. And people prep at that time, and then they live off, they eat what they prep in the winter. So my mom and dad have been eating this homemade stuff, tomatoes, cucumbers, veggies, bell peppers, fruits, so many fruits they freeze and they make preserves. I don't really know how to say it in English, but I'll show you later. And this, what I'm showing you right now, is what they have left in the early May, okay? That's the leftovers, basically. Let's take a little closer look. This is tomatoes used for tomato pastes and sauces. And that's fruit drinks, we call them compotes. And there's sweet preserves, apricots, and I don't know, sour cherries, pickled cucumbers, more compotes. There's some basic food supply, canned pork, canned meat, canned fish. Last March, when we started fearing the pandemic and started fearing that supply chain would be broken, I called up my mom and dad and asked them to stack some canned meat and fish and some, pasta, and they did. It was like over a year ago. They still haven't used this canned stuff. They're just keeping it just in case. Plums or apricots. This stuff is really good. It's ground apricots with sugar. So yummy. This is ground plums with sugar. And strawberries. More strawberries and all kinds of stuff. Things I don't even know what they are. A bunch of empty jars for next year. I don't know how many jars there are. Yeah, that's where my dad keeps the good stuff. Whiskey and wine. I think this is pure spirit, Samagon, but I'm not sure. This is cherry. This one food I don't eat. Okay, this nasty. I just don't like it, but it's very traditional around these parts, and my grandpas and grandmas used to eat it, and so my parents do. Pickled watermelon. Have you heard of this? I tried. No, I wouldn't touch this stuff, but they actually like it. These compotes are incredible. They're best. They're like out of this world. Basically, what they do is they can cherries, add sugar and boil water, and becomes compote. So many. Since we moved to Moscow, they start having leftovers, lots of leftovers, in every May. When we lived in Rostov, there weren't any leftovers by this time, because we would just take and, consume everything. You get the best pasta sauce out of this stuff, tomato juice. Oh, it's so good. Some onion left from last year. No more potatoes. My parents don't have to do this. They've got enough money. My dad works. Everything is available. But that's the prepper gene that's inside of my mom. This is how my mom's freezer looks like. This is a freezer chest. Meat. Some bread, lemons, pequa, fish, more meat, some veggies underneath, more meat and fish, homemade kielbasa. There is so much meat and fish because my mom and dad go to see my mom's cousin, my uncle, to the village. He has a lot of animals, chickens, and all kinds of good stuff. He's a huge farmer, so he gives them lots of meat, lots of fish, lots of everything. They come back home and they freeze that stuff. This is what I'm gonna do right now. Grabbing this, I don't know what it's called in English, открывашка, some kind of a can opener. Sour cherry, it's labeled sour cherry 2020. Sour cherry is by far my most favorite drink that mom makes, compote. It's It's dusty like wine. So I'm gonna open it. It's the color of ruby. This is goodness. I call it liquid gold. If you happen to find this video interesting, please like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything, any further updates. Thanks for watching, thanks for being with me, and I'll see you next time.